What's up, everybody? Welcome to today's Daily Source with myself, Noah Hammond Terrell. This is the show where after I meditate, I tap into my intuition and I give myself the guidance that I most need to hear for my highest good, and I share it with all of you. And at the end of the show, I ask myself a question to ponder to help put that advice into play in my life. This is a daily practice of mine that I use to continue my growth and expansion, and I put it up for anyone out there that it might help and be useful to as well. So if this is your first time here, welcome. Thanks for joining us, or me, I should say, and let's see what's coming through today. What do I most need to hear for my highest good, for the highest good of all other beings involved? Source doesn't move in logical patterns like how your mind would like it to. I'll say that again because I think maybe my camera wasn't working. Source doesn't move in logical patterns like how your mind might want it to. Source comes in creations that are much more multidimensional than how the human brain typically operates. A really good example of this would be to look at the design and the geometric structures and the detail of a tree versus even the most complex and most sophisticated architecture. And what you'll notice is that any run-of-the-mill, quote-unquote, tree has more complexity to it from its geometry, its shapes, its movement, its flexibility, the whole makeup of it is much more elegantly designed than some of our most elegantly designed architecture. If you look at a city, and like you were the other day, the most beautiful thing in that city will typically be the few trees that still remain that are stepping up out of its architecture. Now, why does this matter? It matters because the brilliance of the divine is beyond human comprehension with the mind. And likewise, the elegance of the way in which the divine has set up your life to unfold is much more elegant than the mind can comprehend. And the thing that allows for this expansion to occur through you in your life experience is a willingness to allow for different experiences than what your mind had conceived of as the next logical orderly step. Different ways of being, different actions being taken. It's a flexibility, it's an allowingness. And like Jeffrey was talking about at his workshop last Thursday, grace comes in, grace being defined as receiving benefit that you have not directly worked for to earn. Grace can only come in when you allow it. And grace only has space and is only really being allowed in when there is spaciousness put in your model of reality. If you have a model of reality that is very linear, that is very, I see my 25-year plan, and this is what I must do to get there, and this is how it's going to go, and this is how I'm going to know I'm successful. If you stick rigidly to that, you do not create the space for grace. And because the divine has a much more elegant solution for your life than what you can comprehend with your mind, and because the mind can only produce ideas to that which it already has existing evidence, grace is something that can come and completely change your perception of how long something will take or how a desired result will be achieved. And so your mind really doesn't know shit, is pretty much what we're saying to you. Your mind really doesn't know shit, because you could get a phone call that changes your life for the better or for the worse in the next moment, and guarantee that that phone call and whatever happens as a chain of events after that phone call is going to be completely 100% different than whatever your mind conceived of. So your mind can be a helpful tool and be utilized and implemented in the processes of creating your life vision. but it's a bad tool for necessarily determining the pathways that are certain to get you to a place. It's helpful because it gives you direction. It's hurtful if you believe that that direction is an absolution, if you believe that that's the truth. You must recognize and acknowledge that everything in your mind that you've determined is how things will go or that's future-based is just mind stuff. It's absolutely a complete illusion. And in the acknowledgement of that, you create massive freedom for yourself to allow the reality to set in and the reality to guide you and the reality to be experienced by you without judgment of right or wrong, but really more a full participatory effort, a full participation of your body, mind, soul, and beingness. And it allows for this space of grace to come through, and it allows for this space of genius to be experienced. It's flexible, it's free, it's dynamic, it's all the things that nature are or is that human creations aren't. Buildings will decay while the trees will continue to exist, right? The trees are made to be flexible. The trees are made to procreate. The trees naturally sustain themselves, whereas if humans went away, their buildings would go away shortly thereafter. Right? That's the difference between the flexibility and the divine intelligence of nature, of God, of spirit, of universe, and the rigidity, the inflexibility, and the ultimate fallacy of the human mind. That's illustrated perfectly in that example. Okay, anything else? Here's my powerful question for today. What do you get? What do you get from planning the way things will go in your mind and attaching to that plan? And in acknowledging what you get, can you see the truth of it? And can you see if maybe that might be sourced from somewhere else that gives you more freedom, more spaciousness, and more opportunity for genius? Okay. All right, everybody. That's it for today's Daily Source. As always, sending you all tons of love and positivity and good juju for your day. Make it an amazing one. And I'll see you again soon on the Daily Source. Bye for now.